So let's get into this match. Spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner. It is our blue Protoss player. It is TL FlaShFTW. Playing as... I can't pronounce that. Blue... I'm just not even gonna... I have just offended an entire people, and I'm sorry about that. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's TL Flash. Doesn't matter. And then we got Fox, our purple Terran, down in the bottom left-hand corner. This is gonna be a TVP. Ooh. Now I see why Flash didn't want me to cover these games. So Flash used to be a Terran. Let's give a little bit of expose about my good friend. I shouldn't say my good friend. This person that I happen to know is not a friend of mine. I hate Flash. He's the worst. That's mostly because he put Jaedong as the #2 power ranking in his latest post. That's mostly when I stopped liking Flash. But anyway, TL Flash used to play Terran and decided to give up because it was too hard. And started playing Protoss. And now they're playing a PvT, and this is just kind of like where everything has kind of just come together, right? Like this is really where everything kind of just makes sense. Terrans that give up that the game's too hard for Terran go to becoming a Protoss. Now that said, I actually respect the heck out of good Protosses, but we'll see if TL FlaShFTW happens to be a good Protoss. And of course, please do me a favor. Every single time you see TL FlaShFTW post on Team Liquid or post an article, just let them know that they quit being a Terran because it was too hard. Kidding aside. So Fox, I'm not too familiar with Fox's playstyle, but this is a tier 1 match, so Fox has to be at least pretty decent. TL Flash is another pretty decent player as well, so these players should be pretty paired up. And we'll see pretty much what's going on here. So we do have a Barracks expand coming down here in the, for Fox, which is actually kind of gone away in flavor. And that's because Protosses have gotten so gosh darn good at breaking this. We actually saw a couple of those in, I believe, KSL. But pretty much the biggest one that is just like, okay, Terrans will just lose to this, is if they just go for a proxy robo, like right down here, and build a Reaver, you pretty much can just break Terran. But Fox, going for it. It's okay, it's still a pretty good build, still works out pretty well as long as the Protoss doesn't really break anything. And, typically, Protoss doesn't really have the opportunity to punish it so much. They can get lucky if the Terran kind of lose a little bit of their attentiveness. But typically it just kind of makes the Protoss behind. That's why Protoss is kind of pretty much just kept saying Kasagi. So Fox does have the gas going now, gonna throw down the factory soon enough. We might go into a double factory. I've actually been pretty much staying with single factory lately, just to make sure that kind of everything works out. Flash so far seeming to go for not the 21 Nex, but instead going to go for 28 Nexus with the single gate behind this. And who called it, ladies and gentlemen? Who called it? I'll let you know it was me. I called it. I was like, this is why this build doesn't work anymore. And Flash doing what I expected Flash to do. Flash, I love you. Good job. Teach those Terrans. So yeah, this is pretty much how you break this. You proxy a Robo, you get a support bay, you just proxy a Reaver, and Terrans. It really depends on how Terrans want to play this as well. Some Terrans only go for like 1 or 2 siege tanks, and then they start trying to pump out vultures so they can get out on the map. One of the big red flags that Terrans should notice is that about this time, if you don't see a oh, but never mind, hold on. Oh, Fox notices, sees the support bay. So actually, this actually can still go in Fox's favor if Fox knows what the actual counter is. I actually don't know what the counter is. I actually have never seen a Terran successfully counter this. I believe most of the times that I've actually seen this gone down, the best way that I see is you actually just give up the natural. Because I don't think that there is a really good way to break it to like kind of survive. But if you survive, you basically win the game because the Protoss is just given so much trying to get this to work. So what I've heard is you give up the natural and then you slowly retake it because the Protoss has to pretty much go into like Reaver shuttle and they still have to spend so many minerals trying to get back into the game. Oh, but is Fox going to be able to keep the bunker alive? The 5th Dragoon coming in here. Oh my god, it's so close. The barracks is actually blocking the SCVs from holding this. Oh, and I think this game's over. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this game's over. I don't think this is gonna last that much longer. Oh man, that's one of the big problems with going for bunker expand as well. Is like you have to be on top of how many SCVs are on top of your bunker. By the way, when you have 4 Dragoons, you can 2-shot a siege tank. And with the Reaver here, the Dragoon's already here, and 1 Dragoon has 2 health. The next couple siege tanks is super far away, and the Reaver is already on top of everything. I'm pretty sure this is just game over. Yep. Oh, Flash. Well played. And this is why Flash didn't want me to cast this series. Yes, this is week 2. A melee Dragoon. Alright, so as the rest of these SCVs kind of go down, and Fox slowly realizes that this is just unwinnable, we will probably see that GG come down pretty soon. Oh, actually, wait, the Reaver died? Flash, how did you let the Reaver die? Oh my god. Alright. Actually? Alright, so Flash isn't really macroing behind this. Another Reaver coming in now. Alright, so I think this should still be game. Unless Flash really messes up. But Flash is just not macroing at all. Look at Observatory coming down. That's about it. And there's still 2 siege tanks. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now, this is still really, 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 really far behind for Terran, but at least Fox has stabilized and taken out 2 Reavers. Flash. Come on, man. But wow, really big props to Fox here for being able to at least stop the push and not die immediately. But I mean, Flash just grabs the 3rd base already. Fox is trying to stabilize, but at this point, that is a lot of damage to take. 4 siege tanks to... And I mean, 5 SCVs here, 12 SCVs at the main. Flash is like kind of triple those workers at this point, and has the 3rd base up and running as well. This is looking kind of grim, but I mean, Fox is still playing it and still trying to stay in here. There's no supply depot, so they are about to get supply blocked. But I mean, with raw workers alone, I mean, I would say that Flash is pretty much really well ahead. 4 gates. That Robo is still there. There's other gateways here. This is like, what, 5 gates now in a Robo versus 2 factory. This is looking pretty desperate for Fox, but Fox is still staying in here. It's starting to stabilize, 44 to 82. That supply depot is super, super late. Oh my god, it's just going down now. I swear to god, if Fox wins this game. If Fox wins this game, I want us all to communally message Flash about this. Ah yes, the good old double observer at natural. But I mean, this is a lot of Dragoons, and it looks like Flash might go for this. I can't tell if this is a container or if this is going to be potentially a bust. There's now 3 observers at the natural. And really, Flash should be up to like 6 gateways. So we're starting to get there. We're now up to 4. Robo start. Okay, we're going straight on into Arbiter Tech as well. 4th base coming down as well. This is like one of those moments where like Protoss is like, alright, I got 1 billion minerals. I'm just gonna expand, get 18 gateways, and just kind of hang out. I think if Fox was actually to get all the supply depots down on time, I think Fox would actually be in a pretty good position here because Flash's macro is a little grim. Overall, though, there's a couple of vultures coming in here. They can't really break that 1 photon cannon, though. You're gonna have to leave. Probably could have gone up to the 4th base. But the problem is, like, you can't even go into something like a 5 factory out of this because, I mean, at this point, Flash has got just so many gateways. They've got the Citadel of, he's got the Citadel of Dune already up, probably done Zealot legs, and I mean, you're just not going to be able to break Protoss anytime soon. The only win condition that Fox has at this point is to wait for 2-1 and 200-200 and hope that Flash doesn't kill them beforehand. But I mean, this is going to be exactly what a good Protoss is going to do, is just pretty much deny the 3rd base from ever going down. And it's going to take forever for these siege tanks to do anything, especially with observers just sitting on top of the siege tanks as well. Like, you just can't easily walk into this. And there's just a bunch of dolls coming in here, a bunch of Dragoons coming in from the bridge. And yeah, I think this is going to be just Flash kind of walking over. I think Fox actually had a pretty good opportunity, but a lot of supply blocks really stopped that from getting into a pretty good stable position. I think Fox had the opportunity to kind of like even up the supply quite a bit, but unfortunately that's just not going to happen. There's going to be a lot of dead siege tanks, and I think, you know, like, Flash is going to get pushed back at this point, but getting the 3rd base is going to be near impossible. Because there's just nothing but Zealots coming out from behind. This is pretty much how you just play Protoss when you're going against this Terran that's this strained. They don't have enough minerals and factory time to get siege tanks and vultures, so they're just most likely going to get a whole bunch of vultures. A bunch of siege tanks, and then you just kind of overwhelm them with Zealots. That's exactly what Flash is doing. That is so many Zealots. Oh god, I hate Zealots. Alright, so Arbiter's coming in now. More mines getting laid down. It's pretty good here from Fox. But it's 164 to 75. It's really just... Those mines, man. actually a pretty good unit. But now, like, the rest of the Zealots break through. The Vultures are trying to hold off these Zealots, but I mean, just more and more of these Zealots are going down. More and more of these siege tanks are going down here. Still, though, I would really like to see... Oh, I thought this was week... Oh, this is still week 1? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was week 2. Alright, I take it back. I didn't really get a ton of expose of what I was actually casting. I just kind of was given a whole bunch of replays. Okay, so this is week 1. Gotcha. Building exit is blocked. Okay, so Flash doesn't know how to build gateways. Oh, right, yeah. Week 2 is currently being played. I'm an idiot. You're right. You're right. Is Flash going for that 5th base? I mean, Flash probably could have gone for that 5th base like a long time ago. There's a bunch of goons just kind of getting ready everywhere. Flash, we gotta teach you how to build Protoss. Macro. These won't be able to let the goons out. But Fox is still trying to stay in here. Dogs have 1-1 on the way, science facility on the way as well. But when you're on 2 gas for this long, ooh. And now the Arbiter's out as well. Yeah, I don't really think that Fox has a chance here. I think it's pretty much game at this point. I mean, there's only 6 siege tanks, and there's 3 times as many Dragoons. So we're at 200 versus 96. So unless Flash throws away more armies, and we kind of recreate that ASL game that happened a couple days ago. Flash is also just kind of like moving, so a lot of the Dragoons kind of get stuck here. And there's not really that much micro going on here. Yeah, Flash is actually having a backup. Oh my god. Yeah, this is not going to work out here. You need to kind of push up from this angle, or like split, at least split forces. You can't really push up from this ramp so well. But with the Arbiter, this might work. Is there a stasis event? That would be really nice. But it looks like Flash is finally going to be able to break through. There's the GG coming in there from Fox, and that's game number 1 going on over to Flash. Alright, so this is week 1. I'm sorry, I thought this was week 2. Again, game number 2 here. Again, this is the last best of 3 that we're going to be casting today. If you haven't already, please do me the favor, throw down that follow. I'm going to be going live with more CPL soon enough. But we do have a Have At You coming up later this week as well on Sunday. Have At You is going to be starting at 10 a.m. We're going to have Rapid and Nyokin casting. I'm going to be dedicated observer and production, which is going to be pretty fun. Alright, let's get into game number 2. Sylphid is going to be on map. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, spawning up here at the 12 o'clock position is our Terran player down 1 game. It is Fox. And at the 7 o'clock position, our white Protoss player is FlaShFTW. TL writer extraordinaire. Currently up 1-0 over their opponent. Probably feeling pretty good. Fox definitely having a little bit of a struggle there. And Fox was actually doing pretty well. Actually was able to stabilize a situation that I pretty much assumed was completely unstable. Stableable. But unfortunately, I think it's just a number of supply blocks after getting kind of situated and ready. It just didn't really work out so well. supply blocks are the worst, especially these Terran. God, supply depots take forever to build. And they don't actually do anything. Like for Zerg Overlords, they detect, they fly, they scout, they do everything. Supply depots, what do? They just take up space. Look at this. What do you do? What do you do? Stupid supply depot. You're just built up of circles. And then you have fans. How is that even a supply depot? Why does the supply depot need fans? Was it nothing but a giant refrigerator? Doesn't even make sense. How does this provide for 8 people? Right? Like, it's not even generating food. It's just holding food. So what if the game goes on for like 1 billion years? There's no way that supply depot has enough for 1 billion years for 8 people. Or 8 supply. Whatever 8 supply does actually mean. Probes. Probes are so cute. I'm going to stay zoomed in the entire rest of this game. So we're seeing pretty much a standard build yet again. Gateway coming out here. Single gate. Looks like we're going to be seeing the barracks expand again. 12 supply. We don't have any... I swear to God, if Flash does the same thing again. I think so. I think Flash is probably going to do the same thing again. So, but the SCV is still out on the map. And this is this is a way more difficult choke point to actually keep locked down than last map too. Like, trying to get all the SCVs to repair your bunker on this map is a pain, it looks like. Oh my god, look at that small little area. And the Dragoons can get a massive concave from here. If you built your bunker, like, back here so the Dragoons were kind of, like, stuck in this small area, that might work out. But given that the barracks is so far forward, I don't think it's going to work out so well. And this is always a really great response to seeing the bunker expand. A lot of Terrans mess this up like crazy. Oh my god, so many Terrans mess this up. So what happens here is that basically the double gate just means that like there's just going to be 8+ Dragoons by the time your first tank comes out. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some good player coming out here who's going to say, "That's not right, Schamtoo." But what I like to do in that instance is pretty much just get 4 Marines and only stay with only 1 factory, pumping out siege tanks, because you're going to be repairing this like crazy. Trying to get double factory out with handling all the Dragoons is pretty much suicide. You can't afford siege tank, repairing for as many Dragoons as there are, and everything else. And plus, when you get 4 Marines, it does kind of keep the Dragoons a little bit more at bay. I'm not sure if that's the right way, but I've kind of survived more often doing that. Then again, I also suck at PvP, so... First couple Dragoons that are coming out here, they are not with range just yet. That finishes up at about 4 minutes and 30 seconds, 4 minutes and 20 seconds it looks like, actually. So take that back. So they should be wailing away on the bunker, costing the Terran a lot of Mineralen to repair. And so yeah, there's that first factory going down. More Dragoons on the way. More Dragoons on the way. Next is going down as well. And the difficulty here is that, like, Protoss can, like, stutter their attacks so that, you know, if they just keep attacking like this, sure, you just keep everything repairing, everything's the same, blah, 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 blah. Actually, there's 2 on the bunker. There's not 2 SCVs repairing here. There we go. But if they just stop, and then all of a sudden start attacking all at once, or they stop, you repair to full, and then they attack, and you're not ready for it, it actually creates a really difficult time trying to get everything ready and pretty much like kind of keeping everything prepared. So watch, yeah, see, look, stop preparing because there's too many things, and now all of a sudden you have to keep a really keen eye on that until the first siege tank comes out. And even then, you put that siege tank a little bit too far forward, because those Dragoons just walk forward and snipe that siege tank really easily. And given that there's only 2 Marines in here, there's not that much damage that goes on these Dragoons. You just get a whole bunch of free SCVs as well. That's why I like to put 4 in there. But that's just me. Here in that first siege tank, they just kind of back up. Now this is actually pretty much a problem for Flash. Flash did dedicate a lot of resources to getting that up and running. So if you go for this and you don't actually like kind of bust and cause a lot of damage for the Terran, you have delayed your Nexus quite a bit, and Terran's command center has been up for a really long time. Throw yourself into a really rough situation. Especially paired with the fact that it looks like Flash is going for a robo facility behind this. So this might actually just be Shuttle Reaver play. Because if you go for the double gate like this, the Protoss pretty much has you contained. And this can lead to either Protoss going for fast tech to try and get an advantage in a different way, or just pretty much like you could, I mean, at this point, like a Protoss could just double expand. Because you're not going to get Vultures out, you're not going to get siege tanks out. Even if you get like a 5-fact going, they'll probably have a robo facility by the time, you know, everything is moving. That's actually what they're going for. Looks like Fox is going to go for the 5-fact build here, actually. So yeah, it looks like we are seeing little observer. So I guess it's going to be playing just really nice and slow. Getting the observer and then probably going for a double expand would probably be smart here. But Flash is already way ahead. If you go for a 5-fact behind this and the Protoss is constantly pumping out Dragoons, guess what? They only need about quite 24. You need about like 20 Dragoons. And you can hold off a 5-fact, no problem. Is you get 20 Dragoons, and then you pump out nothing but Zealots, and you just break a Terran as soon as they try to push out at 9 minutes. And the other weird thing is that Fox pumped out 4 Vultures here. Is this a 6-fact all-in? It is a 6-fact all-in. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. So the Vultures here are just going to be a giant buffer of health. While Fox slowly tries to break it. And so the idea here is that you pretty much just cause the Protoss to have nothing but observers building, because otherwise they just start taking so much damage from mines. You can see the observer now has to be super active in trying to find where all the mines are. And you also see that Flash now has to play defensively back home so that these Vultures don't get into the main base. So this is really nice here from Fox. It's going to allow for pretty much a long enough buffer period for the army of Fox to kind of build up to be a just abominable mass of units. These Vultures will keep everything busy. Fox is going to be scared to put, or sorry, Flash is going to be scared to put down third base anywhere easily. And keeping these Vultures active is really, really nice here for Fox. So Flash is now... So Flash also hasn't gotten that observer into the main base. And oh, that's actually really painful for Flash. I don't think Flash knows that this is 6-fact. Otherwise, Flash would be thrown down like a billion more gateways. Yeah. Oh, man. Actually, I think Fox might just win this. Typically at this point, Flash should have like 6 gateways plus, even 8 with the Citadel of Adun down. But oh man, I did not look at the bottom of Flash's base. Okay, so Flash is going for carriers. This is actually really bad for Flash. Like really bad for Flash. Like holy crap, bad for Flash. Did that get canceled or killed? Had to have been canceled at the last second. I don't think Vultures killed the Nexus. Oh, I don't know. Fox is playing this really slow. This actually might allow for 1 or 2 of these carriers to get out. And okay, there is an armory, but there's no Goliaths yet. This is so weird. For both sides. This is so weird on both sides. So there's the Citadel of Doom, this is the first carrier. And there's still no Goliaths and no Terran boosters either. I think Fox is just going to go for an expansion. Flash is going for a 4th base as well. Alright, this is a really interesting situation for both sides. I thought Fox is in a much better position. But now that Flash is able to get at least 1 or 2 carriers out, I'm not actually sure that Fox is going to be able to do that much here. But Fox does have a good slow push kind of happening. And without any Goliaths coming out, nor Terran boosters, for the Goliaths to get extra range, I am really worried for whether or not Fox is going to be able to handle these carriers. Now, I do think, actually, the carrier tech has been figured out because Starports are starting to come down here. This might be a tech into Cloaked Wraiths? Nope. Just a really slow push from the 3rd base. Flash has to be really careful here, though. Also, there's no +1 air weapons on the way either. It's kind of weird. So yeah, I'm really kind of curious about what Flash is up to here, because this is gonna do a... Oh my god, Flash lost so many Dragoons here, though. Yeah, and at this point, I mean, Fox just punishes the fact that there's no ground army here for Flash. Flash is constantly keeping things kind of moving around and doing stuff with the carriers to kind of push back the siege tanks, but that was a lot of probes that just went down. Can't select things. Oh god, I hate the replay observer interface. Oh no, never mind. So there was +1 air weapons that went down. There's +2 air weapons. Never mind, take it back. But Fox doesn't have a 3rd base, and we're at 13 minutes. 14 minutes. We have 3 more minutes before the main runs out. And if Flash can get up to like 6 carriers, this is pretty much game over for Fox. There's nothing that Fox can really do here. And especially running these Goliaths out in the middle of the map against a couple of in low numbers like this is really not good for Fox. So, at this point, I would say that Flash is actually in a really good position now. It was looking dicey, and Fox was pushing in pretty well, but now that Flash is able to get 4 carriers up... Ooh. Ooh. Oh my god. And able to push into the main base and kind of keep this going around, but... Oh my god. Flash is not repositioning everything well. Oh, I don't know about this one. This is where things get a little bit dicey because, as I said, like as soon as like kind of Flash gets, oh my god, there goes his dead side. Oh wow, loses one of those carriers. You gotta be careful about the positioning of your hurt carriers there. Is that it? 3? We're still only on 3. There's gotta be a 4th carrier, right? And now that we're seeing Fox push out again, this is really weird. Okay, there's a 4th carrier. But the Goliath numbers are really, really low, and the Zealots are going straight after the Goliaths, and the Goliath numbers are still, like, what? 3 down here? So Flash just targets down those Goliaths. Okay, so Flash is having a lot of problems targeting down 3 Goliaths. There we go. But there's more Goliaths now on the way, and that took way too long. Yep, there goes one more carrier. Flash is really... I mean, if Flash was microing these carriers a little bit better, this would be a much better game. But now I'm really kind of concerned for Flash's position. Fox has kind of turned this back around again. Never mind. The Goliath is still taking a really long time to kind of feed out of here. There's a lot of factories, and really at this point, like, Fox could just do nothing but pump out Goliaths, and that probably would have been okay for a while. But I think Fox was still getting tanks and Goliaths. And I think if there was just nothing but Goliaths, I think Fox would have been able to really take this game easily. But now we're back up to 4 carriers, 5 carriers. This is starting to become back into Flash's favor again. Oh my god, this game. And now there's Wraiths. There's a Wraith. And the third base is back under siege again. Now there's a lot of Goliaths, but if you overcommit on Goliaths when you don't have much of a crowned army, then you just get countered by a bunch of Zealots. And that's the problem with Goliaths, is they are just really not that great at first round. And there's only a couple siege tanks left, and they're actually all pretty damaged as well. But Flash is really kind of taking really awkward fights here with these carriers. God, this is such a weird game. And now we're getting Cloak and Wraiths, which can be a good counter. You need to snipe out all the observers really quickly. But this is what Flash really should have been doing the entire time. It's just kind of dancing back and forth between this ridge here. Because forcing the Goliaths to constantly go back and forth between these two spots is just almost impossible. And I agree, yeah, they need, Flash needs storms to deal with those Goliaths. And the Goliaths are trying to come around and like cut them off, but that's not going to work. There's a huge amount of airspace over here that Flash can really just kind of abuse. And I think at this point, like, Flash can just kind of walk over all the missile turrets and the remainder of Goliaths that are there. But Flash is just, like, kind of over-microing, I think. There we go. Now we can just kind of bully this whole entire third base, and I think this is pretty much game here. There's only 3 Goliaths left. They're way out of position for Goliaths. And I think Flash has done it. God, that was such a weird game. I can't see that much else that Fox is able to do. The main base has mined out. We've hit about 19 minutes here. Typically around 17 minutes. If you're in perfect saturation, the main bases do kind of mine out. And, oh my good god. There's vultures over here. These vultures are just kind of hanging out. And there's a bunch more Goliaths coming out here, but there's only like 4 of them. And there's like 6 carriers. 8 carriers. There's 8 carriers. So this is pretty much, yeah, the Flash has just won this game. It looks like Fox is going for one more push down here at the 3rd. But with the 8 carriers kind of barreling down, I think this is going to be the end of that army. We're at 110 supply. We've lost the 3rd base. That was really touch and go there with Flash's army. And there we go, there's the GG. That's going to be Flash taking the 2-0 of this week 1 set of games. GG. Whew. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am done for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the CPL preseason tournament. We got 4 best of 3s in today. And it's going to be Flash taking a 2-0. It's going to be Vigamox taking a 2-0. And then there is Age getting 2-1 there by... I forget actually what those games were. Memento. There was a 2-1 by Max, and there was Rock kicking 2-0 over the yellow Fox Bats. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you.